Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Steven Schrembeck. He is a startup founder of Impossible Laboratories, a startup building AI tools for self-control and stability. Welcome to the show, Steven.
Good to see you. Glad to be here.
Welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Stephen. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll understand about using AI for better self control and mental stability. But before we come to this, let's understand a bit about you, your background, your journey, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
Yeah. So hello, good to be here, AJ. So I'm a software developer by trade. I've been building deep learning models since about 2016, and I've been working with the latest LLM third wave, roughly, of AI. And I'm using this. That's the technical side, right? So principal software engineer, all the titles. These are just fancy ways of saying that I do stuff with computers. But that's like saying you know a language. It doesn't mean you've done anything interesting with it. It's what you say that matters. And that is informed by real life. Most people have some sort of wisdom that they've gained or important experience. And it is those two things together that gives me anything worth saying or doing. In this case, this is my all the hardship throughout life and learning how to do things the hard way. Diagnosed with ADHD very late into adulthood. And then all the problems I've learned to deal with and strategize with, and frankly, problems of being human in the modern world. And I have used my own software for many years to automate those problems to the degree that they can be, and to help control myself with software that I made for myself. And now really this is just the next step of, hey, I think these tools are helpful for other people, and bringing these two things together.
Right, right, Stephen. Thank you for that. The general perception or understanding could be that, Stephen, all these things, including, social media plus AI. Earlier it was just social media, lot of AI integration there also, and now AI purely from that point of view. Everywhere it is leading to, much more this whole battle about being human in the present days. And you bring about that AI is also a solution. Help us understand this part. How do people look at this part amidst this whole cloud of, you know, problems that are there, either worries because of AI or because of social media?
We should think of AI as a multiplier effect on the ability to use and abuse well-known functions of the human mind, or unpatchable bugs of the human mind. It's anyone in Silicon Valley, or honestly any business, like we don't even need to limit this to technology. Every single business, whether it's a store down the street, understands how to appeal to you, understands how to get what they want out of you. Humans understand human psychology very well. That means we're easy to manipulate. There's practically a blueprint for it. AI, however, is just, you can scale this up and you can do it intelligently at scale without another human having to design every process. So AI is like a multiplier on an already growing problem. And social media, of course, is very problematic because it's profiting from your attention. If somebody is trying to sell you food on a street corner, they're profiting from your food. But once they've sold you some food, they know you can't continue to buy 100 pieces. There's no point. So they don't keep monopolizing your attention. However, that's not true for a social media platform, because they make their money from attention. And that is where the problem comes from. And so that's where AI becomes a big problem, is it can take as much attention as they can possibly get from you, which is all of it.
Right. And so, where does your tool come in? Means, how should people understand your tool? Is it an app? Is it something else? Some software to be downloaded, uploaded? How should one understand your AI tools?
So this is an app to be downloaded. It's most effective right now on desktop and laptop computers, plainly because mobile companies completely lock down their operating systems, and popular retail mobile devices are not controllable to the degree. Well, that's by design. Who sold those mobile phones to you? Uh, it's the same people. They all profit off of this thing. They have a vested interest, and there are very reasonable security concerns about not giving app developers access to absolutely everything. However, this means if you wanted to control your own behavior, that's very hard. So for now, laptop, desktop. However, I am developing something for mobile. It's just not quite as good. It can't do everything. So the gist is that just think about this totally neutral. You have a set of technologies that know how to use or abuse human behavior and direct your attention as well as influence you. That is totally neutral. You could be using that to get yourself to exercise, to get yourself to learn how to invest, to get yourself to work on your business or to write a book or to spend more time with your friends. Like these are all just behaviors rather than clicking on an ad or being angry at a politician or whatever you're being directed towards instead. You could just run this on yourself and direct your own attention to what you want. That's all it is this is deliberate self psychological manipulation. It does that specifically by hiding and showing things that you see, removing the cues to things. It brings your awareness to what you're doing, so it makes it hard to not know when you're doing something you don't want to do. It's just, we may have mentioned this, the last time we met. You more or less tell it what you want out of life, what you don't want out of life, and then the rest is just simple rules. Really, this is the AI comes in and recognition and understanding what you're doing right now and why every 10 seconds, and then it comes in and it's okay. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? And of course, there are hard limits. I believe very strongly in the hard enforcement. So at some point, for certain things, I want you to turn my computer off in my face right now because I'm not capable of it. It's after midnight. I don't have any willpower left. Turn it off, and that's it. So that's really all it's doing.
Right, right. We'll have to understand that better. But before that, help us understand in terms of, stability, mental stability, if we can understand it in that manner. Uh, People say, and even we know till now that the only difference, big difference that is there between AI and us humans is about feelings. And here they are trying to solve problems of feelings, mental stability in that aspect. Should we understand that this AI you are talking about understands feelings? What way is it understanding? Should we understand that for the general public, we think it is still yet to come to that sentience stage, but it actually has? Help us understand from a common person's perspective, Stephen.
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at this. One is more like philosophical, spiritual, and the other is like just hard technical. So we'll take the technical side first. AI is really good at modeling feelings, meaning you can get it very reliably to be angry when it should be angry. Well, to say angry words or now generate angry voices or images when it should be angry, or calm when it should be calm if you're trying to model a human. And it also can predict what you're going to do. That's one of the things that it is best at, specifically so that it could make you angry or afraid, because that's a good way to get money. However, so it's very good at modeling human feelings. So, but that doesn't mean it's feeling anything. It just knows what the emotion is or should be very, very well, better than most people do. However, it's not actually, there's no one in there. It's not conscious. It's not feeling a subjective feeling, as far as we know. So that is the sort of philosophical side, is how would we know whether this was alive in the same way that you are? There's somebody sitting, riding around in that computer, feeling the feelings that it's claiming to feel. How would we know? And I don't know that anyone has an answer to that problem. That's called the hard problem of consciousness. And we don't know, but we really, really should find out. I think it's one of the questions of our time.
Right. Let's look at the case of a therapist. He or she meets a lot of patients. There also, they have to almost, understand what the other person is saying, what their clients are saying.
Hmm.
But maybe after some time, you have to train yourself not to feel it. You understand it, but if you start feeling too much, it will be painful for you. This is what I understand. Even as journalists, we understand a lot of things, we see a lot of things, but somewhere you have to stop feeling it in a way like a general person and then report on the events. That's the way a lot of different people in different professions do it. They would be a different person if they are away from that scene or within the confines of their house. If AI is looking at it from that point of view, does it mean that the AI is not telling us the full truth and that we are not knowing the truth? It is just that it is suppressing it or controlling it till the time it actually wants to reveal it. Should we look at it from that point of view, Stephen?
I think anyone who is afraid of artificial intelligence because it might come alive and destroy us all, like, I mean, I don't put a lot of weight on that fear. I think that it is possible, but look at what it has been trained on and continues to be trained on. It is trained on exclusively human conversation, human intelligence, human knowledge. That is all it is trained on. Is it any wonder that it would begin to act a little bit like us? And so you should look at this as like a really big human. So that depends on your view of humanity, I suppose, more than it depends on anything else. That is really my take.
Right, right. This is very hopeful. We have to see whether it actually remains that way, that it goes out. If it can learn about us from us, maybe it starts learning a few things outside us.
It's a lot like all of us, I think, all of us in the sense that all of what it's been trained on, right? It's not necessarily the same as all of us. It doesn't get our internal thoughts or our regular at home dialogue, but I think that it's not like any one person, more like a sort of hive mind, the good and the bad. And now there's a lot of nuance there, and it's definitely not human. It doesn't think like us, but I think we should expect it to understand us pretty well.
Absolutely. So let's look at your tool once again in terms of self-control and stability. Now, a human being is different. It does not run on one particular way. Every human being has got, it runs on different set of feelings and everything else that they are made of. How have you been able to design something around uh, human beings, bringing about self control and stability when each case is very different? Can it be customized in that manner? And will the general sort of a help be actually helpful to people who are looking at from that point of view to get solutions?
Well, it's fortunately this is a lot easier than needing to know every single person. Now, it can my hope is that in the future you can just turn it on. The system's called Cognizant, that eventually it will learn without having to be taught. But now there's a sort of semi-manual intervention. Like I said it way back at the beginning, there is a large set of predictable ways to influence people and predictable ways in which people are influenced. If I show you an image of one person hitting another person, unless you are in the roughly 2 to 3% of sociopaths, you will have a very strong reaction in a particular way. This is true for a lot of other things. This means that it's very easy to predict the influences. Yes, I don't know exactly how much it will affect you and exactly how much it doesn't, which is why there's just self-reporting. Like, this is not this how do you feel right now? And by taking record of what you're doing constantly and trying to figure out why a little bit, and then asking how you're feeling, you have a cause and an effect, and you can begin to correlate the two. And then, of course, the easiest thing in the world is, how did that make you feel? It's just asking the question, and then, of course, it can remember it, associate it with a vector associated with that activity or that place or those people, and then you begin to see what is affecting you and why. And it's bringing it to your awareness, and now you have and understanding that you can begin to write your own rules, or you can just use the ones that are out of the box. And that's the general idea. So it's helping you understand yourself more than it's trying to understand you, because that's a way easier problem.
Right, right, Stephen. So does it mean that it's a replacement of a psychologist, a therapist, or is it just the initial place to go, not a replacement?
That is actually my real competition. Yes, is is but there is no replacement for talking to another human. This thing is not having a dialogue with you at this point in time. The purpose is to help you understand yourself, bring your actions into your awareness, and then start doing automated interventions. It's you doing it to yourself in the same way that you will throw away ice cream or chocolate that you don't want to eat anymore, or you'll put it on a high shelf so you can't reach it. This is a digital version of all of that. And it is just a method of self-control and a method of noticing you're about to do a thing that makes you feel upset. You think it's what you want to do, but we have well-known biases that what we think makes us happy does not make us happy. We're actually seeking comfort because it's hard, because we're being manipulated, and we manipulate ourselves. We want comfort, but it's not actually what will make us happy. And it's helping us see the gap between what we think makes us happy and actually doesn't, or the reverse, and then getting us to do the things that actually make us happy, stable, and give us self-control, rather than doing the things that do the opposite but seem appealing in the moment. And that's it. It's just willpower for people who don't have willpower.
Right. If we understand machines learn from us, and it will be learning from me. If I use the machine, will it learn from me about how I am and give solutions, or it can also become like me because it is learning from me? Will I be able to override what is fed into it, or it will learn from me and also become like me? Say, for whatever I am, maybe overthinker, then that will also become overthinker. And maybe hallucination, as they say, it comes out and gives solutions which are not out, which are totally away from truth.
So this is under semi-manual control. The whole point of all of this is that here, these tools that are being used against you, they're yours. So what you do with that, like, some of that is your responsibility. It is not my job to parent other people. I'm giving you a tool to parent yourself. But I, as the developer, I am not interested in doing that. So right now, it's sort of semi-automated, and you override everything. You can see what it thinks or believes, and you can just edit it or delete it. Much like ChatGPT memories, actually. It's almost exactly the same system in that sense. And it is storing these pieces of wisdom that it thinks it knows about you. And you can edit them or add them yourself, and you can tell it how you want it to behave. So yes, you can go in under the hood and change it if you want to, but by default, it will just keep trying to figure it out itself.
Right. So it's already available for public to use. Is it for everyone? Is it for only specific people who have specific issues? How does that work?
So this is not for anyone. It is intended for people with ADHD or autism. However, there's no requirement to do that. We don't ask for a diagnosis. There's nothing related to that. Because regular humans have these problems too. So you're just self-opting into, you think you have problems with self-control, motivation, emotional stability. So yeah, you can go to the website. We're in testing right now. The next version of the software will be available in about a month or so. So if you want to test it out, you're more than welcome to. There's no cost right now. Right now, we're still trying to find product market fit. Just because we have the software that can do things, that doesn't mean that we have a business behind it that can actually develop and charge for the product. So we're still in this phase where we really just need to make it great. And so just looking for test users. So if any of the audience is excited to try it out, we'd love to have them.
Right. So for those people who would like to try it out, those who want to get more information about you, from you, learn more about you, also for people who would want to do business with you, what is the best way for them to do so?
They can go to the website, impossiblelaboratories.com. There's a contact form, and we just started like a newsletter. This is literally just me talking about what I'm doing every week. Many of these ideas do not require AI. The AI portion is just understanding you and just intelligently applying the strategies. But the strategies are often as old as time. Like, and that stuff is, I just give that away for free. Like I just want to help people. So if it doesn't need to be in the software, it's yours. Like it's just pen and paper stuff. So you can listen to that on, get that from the newsletter videos.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thanks.